Right, so while short puts are not undefined risk, um, a lot of people equate them with undefined risk. If we are selling a put at a $20 strike price, we have to put up $2,000 in margin for that, right? Because it needs to be cash secured. That's the most money we can lose on that. So a lot of people think something like that, even though $2,000 is a defined risk, a lot of people feel like that's pretty much like an undefined risk strategy. So they want to know, can we like define our risk? Can we reduce our risk and still be profitable with short puts? And I completely get that. A lot of people want to save the buying power. A lot of people want to save the capital requirements and the margin requirements. So I completely get it. Um, let's see what it looks like. Again, what is a short put? Selling a put outright. We want the put to expire out of the money at expiration. We want volatility to decrease. We want prices to go up. That's how we make money. And again, this isn't it's not required to have a margin account to execute this strategy. So like we do with all other things, we want to find out if we can define our risk, if we can reduce our risk by buying wings, cheap wings, to see how that affects our profitability. So what we did a couple things. So we want to compare just selling the 16 delta put and letting it expire. We also want to compare selling the 16 delta put and buying it back for 50% of max profit. We also want to know if what happens if we sell the 10 delta put, if we sell the 16 delta put and buy the 16 delta put. We also want to know if we sell the 16 delta put, buy the 5 and then the 2. Right? So what do we want to do? The first thing we want to know is what happens when we sell the 16 delta put. Great. Then we want to know what happens when we sell the 16 delta put and buy the 10 delta put. Then we want to know what happens when we sell the 16 delta put and buy the 5 delta put. Then we want to know what happens when we sell the 16 delta put and buy the 2 delta put. So all the way the hell out there. The 2 delta put. There you go. Right? So as you can see, selling the put outright obviously collects the most amount of money. And again, as you guys know, collecting the most amount of money widens our break evens, gives us more room to be right, and also at the same time gives us a better chance of making money. Right? The closer we are with buying puts, saying buying the 10 delta put, we collect the smallest amount of money, right? So we don't really have a lot of room for error there. Buying the 10 delta put, 72 cents. So it's about double the credit received when compared to buying the 10 delta put. And at the same time, buying the 2 delta put is way the hell out there. It definitely defines our risk and reduces our risk, but at the same time, we have less upside to play with. So how do these strategies work? Well, you guys know the first two. Obviously, the best way to do it is buying back at 50%. You're supposed to be right 84% of the time. However, you're right 96% of the time for $2.67 per day, right? So if you buy the 10 delta put, yeah, it's a profitable strategy, but you only make about 20 bucks per trade. It's not great. 77 cents per day. If you buy the 5 delta put, you only make about 96 cents per day. And if you buy the 2 delta put, you only make $1.11 per day. Now, these are great strategies, right? 77 cents per day, 96 cents per day, 111 cents per day are great strategies. However, compared to other put strategies, they're really not that great. So if you must, for whatever reason, and it's totally okay, if you must buy the wings, buy the put, then we suggest, and I suggest that you buy the 2 delta put. It gives you the most amount of winners, the most amount of money per day, and out of all the other ones when you're buying a put to create a spread, it's the least amount of days in the trade, right? However, if you don't have to buy the wings, the best strategy, as you can see right here, is just selling the put and buying it back if it reached 50% of max profit. That's it. So I'll see you guys in the next video.